Hey guys, Hot Rod 08 here, and welcome to another Challenger VOD review. Today we are going to be watching Kite Machine play Corki AD carry versus Ezreal in Challenger. Joining this Corki is going to be a Bard support, and joining that Ezreal is going to be Karma support. Now, for this game, Corki is an interesting choice. Usually you see Corki if he's going to be played in the mid position instead of a true AD carry, although in the matchup against Ezreal, it's really not going to be too difficult of a matchup as he's having to run for his life. He was 5-pointing to make sure no one was invading, got hit by one tag by the Ezreal Q, but he is going to be just fine. Around that, it's going to be a huge poking match for Ezreal and Karma early on. Probably Corki and Bard will be able to all in just fine if Bard can get some poke down or at least a Q in order to stun them up. But Corki's real poke doesn't really come in until level 6 when he gets his ultimate, so he's probably going to have to wait till that point in order to actually be aggressive himself fully. Now, interesting choice, he did go the corrupting pot as first item, so he's going to have that extra sustain with that. Ooh, Akali ended up getting a kill on Nidalee, so that's going to be good for our top laner this game. Well, real quick, while this is setting up, we have our Gangplank versus Cassidy mid, which both of them are scale-like monsters. We have Graves against Nidalee jungle, which is going to be, both of them can be super aggressive early, and they scaled decent, with Graves probably doing a little bit better than Nidalee, and then top lane is going to be that Akali versus Wukong. Now here, you can see on both sides that they are being rather aggressive in these trades right now. If you look at AD carries only, this Ezreal is beating the Corki, especially after that new hit. And as I said, this is going to be a poking monster between the Ezreal and Karma, so they really need to make sure they don't lose too much health, although Corki does have that corrupting pot. He's already used 2 of them, though, and I don't see it continuing anymore, so he only has 1 more charge of that left. His sustain is going to be starting to go down. He just used the last one. He does have one biscuit that he got from his runes, and a little bit of sustain from Bard when we get to that point. But he's really getting poked down at the moment. I guess I can see why he took that corrupting pot, just because he knew he was going to take so much poke between the Ezreal and Karma, and he's going to be using a decent amount of mana himself. That also does help. Corki doesn't have very good mana early in the game when you're using your Q. It is pretty mana heavy. Bard is going to try to help the Gangplank and Graves in the jungle side, but they didn't end up needing his help, and Corki really just needs to farm a little bit. His aggression again is going to really come once he gets to level 6, once he can start using that R poke. Before then, though, it's going to be kind of hard for him to be aggressive on his own. You can see you got the slow wave pushing right here, though, due to the 5 can minion, or ranged caster minions that we had, versus, what, 1 caster minion, 2, 3 with no melee. So this will be gradually pushing into the enemy side as long as Ezreal, Karma don't mess with the wave too much themselves. Kind of difficult because Karma's Q hits the minions pretty easily. But then again, it probably doesn't really even matter just because how much poke they're doing. Now, it looks like Corki's going to back pretty early, just because he's getting poked out so much. He will have that corrupting pot. He also had enough for tier, so he is going to be able to start spamming out his abilities. At this point, he did have teleport, so he's going to get right back to lane. So, not too bad of a timing for him to do that with that teleport. It's going to give him a really good backing, too. Probably needs to not trade here too much, just because the other 2 on the enemy team can can back. They will have a decent back timing, and Corki doesn't want to take too much damage before that back, since he's going to be the one staying in lane. So he wants to avoid as much trading as he really can. The more he takes those trades and before the enemy team is back, and the more he's going to keep that damage on him. It looks like he's already used the 1 corrupting pot, so he's got 2 left and then 2 biscuits. So he's just going to push this lane as hard as he can. He's got Graves and Bard relatively close to him, so it's not too much of an issue to be that far out, especially since you would assume that the Ezreal and the Karma have already backed, which Ezreal just got back to lane. He's got a Sheen at this point, so his Qs are going to be doing some pretty good damage. Looks like this Drake is going to be an easy pickup, though. Graves is really doing all that work. Looks like they are going pretty deep into the enemy side, though. Gangplank is really messing up this Casson at this point. They are going absolutely ham on him. Whereas Corki took a really bad path, took 3/4 of his health for absolutely no reason, so he's going to have to back pretty soon. He just used his last corrupting pot, so he'll get a little bit of his health back. I'm assuming he's gonna have to back towards his base, though. Let's see if he actually does, though. Nope, he just used one of his biscuits, and he's waiting patiently for the Karma to try to take this. I'm assuming she's gonna flash over the wall. Yep. About to say that's gonna be a pretty easy flash for her. So instead of saving those biscuits, he decided to just go back to lane, which is overall fine. It does suck they took so much damage in the mid lane, though. He really needed to just not chase in that matter. The other 2 people were clearly gonna go on their own. And there's not much to stop him. He is level 6 finally, though, whereas Ezreal's level 5, so he is starting to get online with his ult, which is essentially the main reason he even picked Corki in the first place, between that and his AP damage if you really need it. So Corki's pretty low on mana at the moment. Probably shouldn't be really fishing out too much more of these fights. I think he's just trying to get his poke damage, and yeah, he's gonna back right out. So the main goal of this bot lane between the Bard and Corki early was to just get him to scale up a little bit. He will scale better than this Ezreal does once he gets later in the game. He did decide to stay around, though, just because Graves is still hanging around the bush. Enemy team, if they were smart, they would probably guess that, yeah, this Graves is going to be coming. I don't know if there's anything they can do here. Corki's, alright. Bard took a pretty good amount of damage, but they were able to get 2 for 1. That was a pretty good trade right there. Graves, W, did a lot of damage there, whereas Corki was just going forward with his Qs and his ult as much as he could, even though he has, like, almost no mana in any way, shape, or form. Yep. He's going to go back. Not too bad of a timing with Ezreal coming back up at this point, but Corki being 1-0-1, it's not too bad. He just got his Manamira, I do believe. So he's going to have some decent damage. It looks like he's going to try to gank mid lane. He's going to go a pretty straight path through the top side jungle. Looks like Karma and Kassadin are mid, so he's really trying to find this opportunity with everyone else around. At least gets that damage. Ooh, and the Gangplank ult actually finishes that off. I'm actually surprised that it was able to get that little bit of damage off at the end with no Gangplank upgrades, I'm highly assuming, for his ult. So that was really good for him to get that damage, and good use for that Corki ult to try to rush ASAP in order to actually use it. I will say that Corki is going into this lane with 1/4 of his mana, which isn't exactly the best. I feel like he should be trying to spare that at least a little bit more, but that's clearly not the plan. He's still shooting out as much abilities as he can possibly do. Maybe he might try to push this as hard as he can. That's about the only thing I can think of here, is try to push this out a little bit faster, get a little bit of damage, and then just go back to base, get that mana again. Yep. So that's what I assume he was going to do. He's just trying to push that as hard as he can. Oh, okay. They're actually going to give him blue buff. That's another thing that they could do. I think he's going to wait for that to come up. Yep. So he'll be able to do a lot with that buff. He is taking a decent amount of damage between those two, but that blue buff on Corki is going to be a lifesaver for him to be spamming out these abilities. Not too many AD carries absolutely need it, but if you're a Corki AD carry, it is certainly helpful to be able to spam out everything. See, Graves and Gangplank just got mid turrets. So they are really pushing them with 3-1-2. Gangplank has 0-2 cast, and he is really falling behind. And Gangplank scales pretty close to what Kassadin would overall, so definitely in our favor. Corki hasn't done a major amount of things this game just yet in order to turn the game in his favor, but he did get the Sheen, so he's going to be going for that Trinity Force next, and it's going to be a very big spike when you have the Mana Mirror and that Trinity Force on Corki. That's essentially his spike that he's going to get in this game. And that blue buff still helping that he's just able to spam out all of his abilities without worry. Whether that's to be dodging the Qs from the enemy Ezreal, or to be just positioning himself better in general. So again, I think if they can just keep sending this out with that taunt laugh, love it. Bard tried to engage. I don't know exactly if they knew where the enemy jungler was. They don't really have vision on this bot side though, so it seems a little risky. I'm gonna give them the benefit of the doubt and say they know where the jungler is if he's going to try to engage that blind in the bot side, but we'll see if that jungler comes out anywhere. Graves then the top side, the jungler, Nidalee's on the top side too, so yeah, they're safe for any aggression that they do, as Nidalee just popped herself up around the blue buff. Bard's flashing for that with GP diving. Corki's just gonna clear up all this wave as fast as he can. Oh yeah, there's not much yeah, there's not much living for him. You got a lot of poke champions, and with his barrels being able to come out too potentially from the Gangplank, it's just pretty rough. Corki doesn't really have much to worry about either, considering Graves and Bard are around the Nidalee and the castle at the moment. GP is flanking them, while Corki is literally just getting as much damage as he can to this turret, and looks like he's going to finally back. That tower's got a pretty good amount of armor and stuff. It's going to be hard for him to continue bursting through that, so he's going to go back instead. He's going to get his Sorcerer's Shoes, get that extra AP damage. Actually, he ended up just selling it, never mind. He instead switched for, whenever the stuff's telling us the total gold, so he ended up going for the Phage instead, and then a little bit of extra attack speed instead of that Sork's Shoes. So he will be working towards that Trinity Force that's coming up. Corki really wants to go for this. He can. Still kind of risky considering he doesn't have the vision for this. He's still being cautious with that. Well, they're probably expecting them to use it. Yeah, they probably just expect them to use the W. Usually, Corki is pretty aggressive with that. It's kind of a, yeah, it was there just in case he wanted to use it, which is kind of nice. So, and he's still got it if he really needs to use it. I'm not exactly sure how long that package lasts for, but he's got still to use it. It is a powerful ability if you use it correctly, so he'll have that at least a little bit longer. Okay, so he's just gonna try to gank this cast, and I don't see that exactly working, considering how much ability he has to run. But I'm assuming he's got enough for Trinity Force to see if he's gonna go back already at this point. It's a big spike for him. I don't see him rushing back for any other reason rather than Trinity Force. Now, if you're actually gonna prove me right, yep, there's your Trinity Force, and he got Control Ward, just like a good AD carry should at least get that one Control Ward. So he's gonna have his huge power spike with Mana Mirror and Trinity Force. Next thing they're gonna be going for is this top tower. They've got 2 towers down the bot lane, 1 in the center. Top is clearly the next objective. And it looks like Rift Herald's going to be coming up pretty soon. So after you get that top tower, they're going to be able to set up wards and stuff to be able to get that next objective. Bard's going right in. And he took a lot of damage going in, but he was able to get some good poke with his R. And he was patient enough with the auto attacks too. He's going to come back and ward at least just to be safe. You don't know where that Kassadin or that Wukong could possibly come from. And he's still pretty squishy. And he's got also a 600 gold bounty on him at the moment. I mean, don't really want to be giving away that much gold for no reason at this point. So he's going to be playing a little bit safer. Going to rotate towards mid where he's got a tower at least to go to. It looks like Drake is going to be coming up pretty soon, so I'm assuming Rift Herald is up at the moment. This game sometimes doesn't show those objectives up. I'm assuming Rift Herald is up even though the map doesn't say so, and then that Drake is going to be coming up pretty soon as well, and that's going to be a Cloud Drake. Yep, and that just spawned. We'll see which one the teams decide to go to. Looks like Graves is going to solo that Drake, and Corki's just going to farm like a boss with his 191 CS at 17 minutes game. And he is actually past 10 CS a minute, so he's doing rather well on that gold at the moment. He was about to go to the top side. I guess they started faltering though, so instead he's just going to farm the minions as much as he can. He's going to rotate towards the bot side. It looks like, nope, he's going to back. Probably those Sork shoes at this point, since he still hasn't upgraded that item. He was still looking for that earlier. Let's see if he actually does that. Ooh, actually, no, he gets that BF sword. That's a good amount of extra AD that he's going to have. And that teleport to the tower, man, he is an absolute beast with that. He even used Flash in order to get that on the Kassadin. It's pretty hard to catch up to him. Kassadin, I'm assuming, has to be at least level 11 at the moment, so it's a pretty fast ult from him. Corki was able to shut that down. Doesn't feel safe enough to get the top tower, though. Might not have the warding in order to truly keep that safe, so instead he's just going to go around, continue to get all many objectives as he possibly, well, as many minions as he possibly can. Not 100% sure what Karma's doing, but again, Corki's just feeling pretty safe in order to get as much CS as he's going. He's got Kali and Bard on top side, so he's pretty safe to continue just taking this turret. Yep, that's going to be another objective for him. They've got all 5 on the top side. I'm going to take this Gromp real quick. Graves is taking Rift Herald at the moment, so that's going to be another good objective for them to take. And this Corki is just absolutely aggressive. This is the Corki I would not want to face. He is just farming like a boss, and he is constantly also going back in order to get any items that'll help him. He's at 238, almost 20 minutes in the game, definitely above that 10 CS a minute, actually getting close to 12 CS a minute. Honestly, he's going to just fall under 12 CS a minute, but 10 is already crazy to get in the first place. So he is absolutely killing it when it comes to that. That was a great Graves ult with that setup, though. Both of them lined up, so Again, Graves gonna use Rift Herald. Not sure if that was the best timing for him to do that, considering everyone's backing. Maybe, oh, because Baron's coming up, maybe that's why for that distraction, but that didn't really work. No one stayed around to get that. He ended up getting an Infinity Edge, though. 504 with 238 CS at a little bit above 20 minutes in the game, though. So he's got, like, an absolute insane amount of damage between Trinity Force and Infinity Edge. I don't know if Corki necessarily does that all the time, but how far ahead he is at this point in the game, I'm pretty sure that's just the strongest you can get. Ezreal tried to ult, probably saw that they're at least doing this at the moment. We'll see if anyone's going to be coming, though, because Wukong's still staying on the bot side. Now he's heading up into the jungle. He's probably not going to make it, though. Karma and Kassan, 3 people are here. Corki with the ult, though, and W'd right out of it afterwards. That was actually really nice. I haven't seen too many Corkis use it, his ult in that manner, in order to stop in the damage. I actually want to go back and see how he did that again. Let's see if this actually loads up. So let's slow this down. So he W's forward, push them to the side, and then immediately W's back for the positioning, and it moves them to the side just enough in order to knock them over, and but still get damage down. Now he does fall. Corki does fall for 1,000 damage, and he's still got $500 bounty on him even after he died. So pretty high bounties losing, and Ezreal actually got the double kill, though, so he just got a lot of money between killing Graves. I don't know if he's the one that killed Corki or not. If he did, he is an absolute monster when it comes to money now, between the 2 shutdowns and still another kill on Bard, even though he's 0 and 6 at this point. Probably not very much money, but still something. As for our main Kite Machine here, looks like the next objective that is going to be coming up is going to be that Drake within probably about 40 seconds or so, and then Baron's going to be coming up in a minute 50. So those are going to be the 2 objectives they're going to be worrying about. Corki's just going to farm this jungle as much as he can. Still keep up those CS numbers when possible. Oh, he lost that Gromp and just said, you know, F it. So he's going to actually go to mid and try to take some of this CS. It's crazy to watch how these players really go out of their way for CS, but these CS numbers really do matter. You really do have to focus trying to get as much gold as you possibly can from minions is your #1 way of consistent money throughout each game. If you know how to CS, you're always going to have a good amount of gold compared to the enemies, even if you are 0 and 0. So very fundamental skill that Corki has clearly been working on, considering how aggressive he is to be taking as much CS as possible. He's going to try to take this red buff too. He is another level of aggressive, like doesn't even care if the jungler's taking the buff. He's going to at least give it a try. I was about to say Corki is probably not going to be continuing going forward that aggression, though. Looks like Kali's pretty deep in the base. She just died, so it is 4v3 for our team still. Looks like both Ezreal and Karma died. So this is going to be probably a pretty easy finish for our Corki team. That redemption really made a difference. Corki would not be here without that redemption from the Bard. Probably should be giving a thank you in the chat for that. Corki needs to stay his distance. He does have his ult, which is the whole point of using Corki is to stay back if you can. And that's exactly what he's doing. He's just trying to poke from distance as much as he can. He is level 15. He's got the level 2 ult, so those are going to be coming up pretty fast. The replenishment on those anyways. looks like the game might not be quite over just yet, although Kali is going back in mid. Corki went around just to be safe, make sure he wasn't going to get caught out going a greedy way. Looks like Corki might be trying to do something here, though, even though the rest of his team is low. And now that... Ooh, that was... Okay, like, if this Bard doesn't get the honor at the end of this game from the Corki, I don't know why, because this Bard is definitely saving Corki's ass. I don't know why Cassin went through that tunnel either. Should have known that he was just going to die in a second. Maybe it was just a desperation tunnel, but Cassin definitely didn't need to follow that one up. Looks like they're going to be able to get this Nidalee, though. He's trying to kill the Bard, but that was pretty easy. A flank on his part. Alright, so Bard went in, but Corki decided not to. He does have that package, though, and he got Rapid Fire Cannon, and finally the Sword Boots. Teleport back in. That huge flank with the package. That, honestly, teleport and package Corki is really powerful. I've never even thought about that. That's a really cool combination to use. You really get those flanks and a lot of damage with that package and teleport. So that was really cool to see. Again, I didn't even think about the possibility of being able to do that. That is deadly. I can see why this person is playing Corki and Challenger. If he's going to be pulling plays like that, at this point, they're just going to be goofing off, trying to get that last kill. He actually did get an ult kill on that, and another kill with an auto attack, so he is going for those nice kills at the end. 15 to 33 kills, so 48 kills in 26 minutes. Pretty action-packed game for Corki, but he played it out really well. At the beginning, he played it pretty slow like he needed to, just because he wasn't powerful in that beginning of the laning phase, but he did start scaling up a bit, and he was really able to put some pressure on the map. So that's going to be the Challenger VOD video for today. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and put any comments below if you have anything to say about this. And if you enjoy these types of videos or my coaching streams that I do, please subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. Rather than that, thanks again for watching. I will see you on the next video or live stream. Thanks much.